has the Scottsbluff Police Department changed over the past 23 years?
It's crazy. I'll talk to the captains about this every now and then, but when I started in 2001, when we got into the patrol car, we did a little bit of an inventory. We checked our radars. We flipped the back seat because all they did at the time was they unbolted the back seat so we could flip it and make sure there was no contraband in when we began our shift. Then we went to the back. We took our VHS tape and stuck it in the vault, and that was it. I remember one of the cars, the overhead lights were so noisy, they were mechanical, that you would just about have to shut them off to listen to the radio, to communicate on like a traffic stop. So that was in the beginning, and then, we used to do all of our reports on Excel and Word. We had yellow out, we had white out, we had pink out, we had typewriters. And then started to get some technology. Clear up to where now we're sharing a database with the entire county, and those cars have technology in them. They're like hotspots. They have MDTs. You can see where the cars are at on a map. You can see what the others are doing through the system. We have license plate readers throughout town. The technology has just changed immensely. So we've came a long ways, and I think Scottsbluff has really led the way.
And during the course of your career here, what's been one of the biggest cases or two that stands out in your mind? Whether a great bust or I know we covered that brother-on-brother stabbing on Avenue I, which was, there's been a lot in 20 years. So, is there anything that really stands out of just like, wow,
Yes.
this is my job and this is my work?
There is. There was a young girl named Casey Buckman that was kidnapped. This was some years ago. I was a patrol lieutenant at the time, and I think the reason that this is so memorable is as horrible of a crime as it was. We found Casey, and she's a survivor. And I think had we not gotten involved and take the approach that we did, I don't know that she'd be here today. So that is probably one of my most memorable, biggest cases here. So.
And any coworkers over the past couple decades here that really made an impact on you?
Oh yeah.
Too many to count, or do you want
a lot of them. I'll talk a little bit about Jim Bornschlegel, animal control. He passed a few years ago. Great man. He entertained us. He was just a good guy. Loved animals. Was a good outdoorsman, and just a good individual. So I bring him up because he's passed. But there are a lot of good people. There's a lot of good people still working here. Phil Martindale was here earlier, and he was kind of the model for a lot of cops because of his work ethic. Worked with Phil Eckberg a lot, Joe Rohr, Rob Kiesel. I hate to miss anybody, but there's a good core group of guys. Chris Abrass and Lance Kite, the captains, they're doing a great job. Cody Enlow, he's leading up investigations. Bruce Ferguson's working evidence for us. So just a great, good core group of people here at the department. And all the new ones. We've made some really good new hires too.
And that's one of the things I wanted to address. Has staying fully staffed been a challenge you've seen in recent years? I know that you're hiring, the lateral entries, the bonuses, and all that. Is that one of the biggest things you've seen since you've taken over as chief? Which is like, God, we're always hiring. Is that a fair statement?
It is. There was a period while I was chief that we were full strength for a couple years, which is very unusual for a department such as us. I was talking to Lance Kite, the captain, earlier, and when he was hired in 1999, he was one of 5. It's just departments like Scottsbluff have turnover. And it was that way when I was in Great Bend. It was a very similarly sized agency, and we're very busy, and we're going 24/7, 7 days a week, and it's tough. It is. So.
And as far as passing the torch, I know that you said, I think it was a November council meeting, that you had marked that today was going to be the day that you surrendered your law enforcement certificate. Is that correct? Is there a successor in place at this point, or is it going to be kind of the captains leading things?
Yeah, I'm going to appoint the captains as acting chiefs, so they'll get us through the next few months. We're going to interview chief candidates January 31st. Right now we have 4. We'll narrow that down soon, and I'm pretty confident we'll have a new chief identified by mid-February and hopefully in place in the month of March. So it's just around the corner.
And whether you like it or not, you're still going to be around. You're fully focusing on the city manager duties, kind of now that you can really just put all your focus on that one position. What do you have on the horizon for 2025 on you and your job responsibilities?
I'm going to take a hard look at professional development, make sure that I get myself in some trainings so I can stay as fresh as possible and have ideas. We have a lot of work to do. We're still working on the comprehensive plan, and we will pretty much throughout 2025. We have the Safe Streets for All grant. We've just reviewed the request for qualifications response, so we'll be awarding that to an engineering firm here coming up. All the work that's going on in the parks, they just finished the outfield fence at Cleveland Field. We got the pickleball courts over at Westmore. We got a mini pitch being put in at Vets Park. We're going to get that bathroom open back up at Vets and make some improvements to the splash pad. And, we've made some really good hires. Matt Carpenter is doing a great job with parks. He's the reason we were able to get all of these projects going as quick as we did, because of his hard work. Let's see, Lynn Garden retired recently. He was here for over 40 years. We replaced him with Mason Couts, and Mason's doing a good job. Richard Landreth came in and is library director. He's going to leave us soon, but he's really done a nice job for us. And we're looking to replace Mark Bowl in the near future too. Those are big shoes. So we're taking applications, and we have some strong applicants for that position too. So that's going to be the goals, is kind of replace some of the department heads, get those projects we have started finished, and see what comes up.
All right, and just bringing it full circle, in just a couple sentences, if you can just kind of summarize your thoughts and feelings as your tenure with the Scottsbluff Police Department. When
I came to the Scottsbluff Police Department, I fell in love with this department. I really liked their approach to law enforcement, and it was pretty much, they gave you good equipment, they gave you good training, and they expect you to go out and do your job. I never ever was told not to do something, but I was given good moral guidance and direction, and people here are held accountable. So, it's been important that we treat people right, and I preach that the difference between a good cop and a great cop is compassion, and I think these guys exemplify that, guys and gals. So.
Any other talking points? That's all I had for you.
I would just say that I really don't. I've retired my law enforcement credentials, but I haven't retired. I got a lot of work to do. I think Scottsbluff's got a really good vibe to it right now. There's a lot of development. I think we're on the cusp of some more. So just really excited about the future.
Perfect.